What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey! When you look at Kelvin Benjamin, guys, he's 6'5", he's 245 pounds. He's probably a Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
Don't!
It's not the Dallas Cowboys, but it's a start.
Woo-hoo! You love this. And then,
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
don't!
Now stay tuned for 6 hours of exciting football action. Hey!
Bears trying to cross midfield.
Hey, we're it's a surprise. 6.5. No, it's not. We're going to be joined by our good friend Coach K, Karriem Smith, out of the Big Apple. Get his take on things. Hit it.
They call him the Galloping Gazelle. His habitat the frozen tundra of Soldier Field. For 6 seasons and 2 Pro Bowls, he grazed on the tasty green turf of the end zone. Until one fateful Sunday in November, when the Gazelle was stopped in his tracks by a big cat named Wade Krzyzewski.
Stupid poetic justice. Want to come with me and Wally to the Super Bowl?
Oh, absolutely. My favorite team's in it. The Atlanta Falcons.
I'm exhausted.
Straight off the couch.
Yeah, it's a good kind of exhaustion, isn't it, Adam?
I'm almost exhausted. I feel like we just did this, but let's do it again.
Let's do it again, but this time we're going to be joined by a good friend of ours, Coach K, out of the Big Apple. So
yeah, it'll be great. So let's see what Coach K has to say.
Hello.
Coach, what's up, man? You're joining Adam and I right here on the Straight Off the Couch podcast. It's our good friend Karriem Smith in the Big Apple. He's a sports aficionado. He knows everything about everything if there's a ball involved. He knows a lot more if there's 2 balls involved. So
Yeah. What's up?
But nothing if there's a puck involved, maybe, right? Maybe he likes puck games too.
Yeah.
How's it going, Coach? Long time.
Yeah, I know, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good these days. Nice to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
So what's your take on this weekend's proceedings?
Well, for starters, I'll say this. San Francisco cannot fall back by halftime by 14, 15 points. Big difference between the Lions and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree with
Big
that 100%.
Adam
Fall back is trouble.
Adam actually said that yesterday, buddy. It's the exact same thing. You cannot fall asleep on this team and think you're going to sneak back in.
No, the Lions is one thing. They're not ready for it yet. Maybe next year or the year after. But right now, no. Kansas City, they know how to win, and they got the defense to back it up. Because, let's be honest, Mahomes just knew how to win this game. Because, honestly, look at the defense for KC, and then look at how he barely escaped through. If it wasn't for the defense on that one stop at the goal line, and then on top of that, the idiot who decided, oh yeah, I'm going to taunt while I'm down by whatever. That was a boneheaded move.
How stupid was that?
Yeah. That was a whole series of events that just went bad for the Ravens.
So
I'm looking at the spread, man. It's crazy. They're saying San Francisco by 1, and I'm like, there's no way possible.
Is it by 1 point now? Because yesterday when I looked at the line, it was 3/4 of a point.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, they have to show somebody as a favorite, and they really don't want to pay out a big, especially for Super Bowl. They don't want to pay out like a 5-1
they're gonna keep,
favorite.
They're going to keep that spread low. They're going to keep it low, but I see a high-scoring game. I see at least over 50.
I see the line right now at 46.5. You're saying it's going over?
It's going over.
And who you picking?
KC?
KC?
I got KC by a smidgen.
Like, I have them 24-21.
Yeah,
I'll
and
tell
I have
you what.
San Francisco 27-21.
I'll tell you what. It comes down to Pacheco and McCaffrey. whose running game is going to be better against other defense. That's what's going to come down to.
Do you? Go ahead, Adam.
I think if they can get Trent Williams going and George Kittle blocking, I think McCaffrey can do a lot of damage early, but that's all going to depend on the 49ers. They've been a slow starter for the entire playoffs.
Yeah. And I'm surprised they're not using McCaffrey more early than they should be.
He's gonna run for 150 yards. You watch.
He does. I won't be surprised.
Do you have a sleeper pick to keep an eye on for us to watch?
My thing is for the running game. Because Pacheco has been efficient when necessary. He hasn't been very efficient in the first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter is like they clamped down and put it in his hands, and he's been getting the change move.
Well, what I've been surprised by during the playoffs is Deebo Samuel. The way they're using him is just brilliant.
I'm surprised they're using him that way. He was injured, and if he gets going, then we might be looking at 49ers hoisting that trophy. If Purdy does what he can do for him, they remind me kind of like Montana and Rice when it's the necessary time.
When it starts to click, right? When you need it to click.
Yeah. At the right time, they click at the right spots, and there was a couple of plays they had against Detroit that just, I don't know. I guess it kind of pushed them back. It kind of demoralized them or something, but they just didn't seem the same after that.
It put them on their heels. It really did.
So the reports coming out of Vegas today is every year the NFC and AFC flip-flop of who's the home team. AFC is the home team this year, so the Chiefs get to choose the color of jersey. They'll be wearing red, but they also get to use the home team's, whoever stadium it is, their practice facilities, and the other team has to find other suitable facilities, which is usually the university in the area. San Francisco has to be at UNLV, where apparently the field is very soft, and they're not happy about it.
Yeah, they're taking issue with the practice facilities they're using, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they're claiming the turf and the ground under the turf is too soft for what they want to do.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. They have scouting teams that go out a week before the event to do check out the conditions of the field. So, surprisingly, why wasn't something said beforehand? Like, these guys know what they're looking for in the turf if they're sending out a team.
Yeah, especially UNLV. It's not the greatest looking field.
No, it's not.
No, and that might be part of the issue too, is that it's not the greatest looking field. But
according to what I read today on ESPN, the league may tell Kansas City they have to give time for the Niners to use the Raiders facility.
The other option is they apparently can re-sod the entire field. They can bring in sod if they want to.
That's even crazier.
Apparently, it doesn't take very long. I don't know. They must have like 400 guys that come out and lay the turf. Because
yeah, they do. Have you ever seen one of those fields put together? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never actually watched how they put a field together, and if I have watched it, it's been in like super fast stop motion.
Time-lapsed?
Time-lapse, yeah. And you can't really tell how many people are working on the field in time-lapse. It looks like the same guy just running back and forth every time. It's probably like 30 dudes.
Well, everybody knows if you want to do anything with sod, you got to call Roger Bossard out of Chicago, the sod father. I mean, he's the sod genius.
Sod father.
Yeah. The sod father. He even has.
Looks like you got some weeds in my lawn.
He's so popular here. He has his own bobblehead.
Wow. Have your own bobblehead.
Yeah.
That says something.
Hey, off the topic of football, real quick, Karriem. Keep sharing those pictures of your boy, man, because that smile's infectious. I really get a kick out of seeing him smile.
Yeah, I try to post when I can with him. He's doing his thing.
Yeah,
he enjoyed his birthday weekend.
Yeah, he's got an infectious smile, man. I really enjoy that. So you keep sharing those for me, will you?
It's just getting him to smile on camera. It's like you gotta take like 30 pictures to catch him smiling.
All right. So what's you're going Chiefs? What's your final score?
Must be in Jersey. He's going through a tunnel.
Yeah, I'm in Manhattan.
Downtown?
Yeah. You hear all the traffic, you hear all the craziness.
So
what's your score call on this game?
28-25.
28-25. We're all within. We're all like
so close.
We're all like a one possession game here for all three of us. That's cool.
No, I'm telling you, if the defenses do what they're supposed to do, I see the second half being more explosive because then they're going to have to make the adjustments. And Andy Reid has shown me that he can really make adjustments.
Both teams showed that they could make adjustments in the championship
they
games.
Have to. Yeah, well, they had no choice.
You know, we saw a really flat San Francisco team getting stomped by Detroit, 24-7 at the half, and then what happened?
They woke up and turned it on. Yeah.
They turned it on.
Offensive line for the Lions found ways to open holes, and the Lions took advantage. But then the second half, I didn't see that. I was like, what's going on?
And then 27 unanswered points. That's ridiculous.
And they quit running the ball. I mean, Montgomery was just killing them in the first half, and they only got 2 touches in the second half. What was up with that?
Yeah, I'm saying to myself, I'm watching the game, and I'm saying to myself, why aren't they running this ball more like they were doing in the first half? Because that's where they were. And it's like, you're up this much. Why would you decide to start throwing the ball?
Yeah.
You protect the ball. You move the chains. You get 3-4 yards here. You get another 3-4 there, and then you make that third down conversion off a pass, maybe.
Yeah, you got to shorten the game. You got to run that clock down.
Exactly. Time management
incomplete
plays
passes
everything.
are only going to stop the clock and make the game run longer.
And that's and that's what San Francisco was doing to them at the end of the game, as opposed to the Lions doing it to San Francisco. So.
And the difference is the Lions take chances on 4th down.
Yeah, Adam and I talked about that last week.
Yeah, that was 2 episodes ago.
Down.
We talked about Dan Campbell. Dan Gamble, we like to call him now.
Yeah.
The guy's got giant fucking testicles that he puts in a wheelbarrow everywhere he goes. Jesus. And we criticized him
I
on
didn't get that.
should have taken the 2 field goals and it would have been a different game. And putting points on the board when you can get them in the playoffs, especially.
I don't know if you guys saw my post, but I was like, they should have took that field goal because now, San Francisco's going to run the ball. And what did they do? They put it in McCaffrey's hand. He went from 50-something to 90-something yards. That quick.
Yeah, they did.
Quick.
They
ran the ball more effectively, that's for sure. All right,
and they've got some serious weapons on that team too. Like their skilled offensive players are amazing. Like Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, McCaffrey, and then their front line. Trent Williams on the front there. I mean, and then their defense is good too.
The way I think this is going to break down is the Chiefs are going to key on McCaffrey and Samuel. I think Kittle's going to be the linchpin for San Francisco if they want to do anything.
I think you're right. Kittle will be he'll make a natural pick a couple times. He'll throw some blocks. He'll open up the windows for the wide receivers and the running backs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kittle ended up in the end zone because he's been blocking all day and they think he's going to block again. He just runs right past the guy and they're like, "Oh, we weren't ready for that."
Yeah,
they've got to come out with all the stops for this game.
I like Kitty. He's a good tight end. He's an underrated player.
Both these teams are going to have to come up with plays that we have not seen on tape before.
Well, see, and that's just it for these big games, as you guys both know. They key on the superstars because they expect them to have big games, and then somebody who I don't want to call Kittle a fringe guy, but he's not exactly their main objective either.
No, he's not.
So when somebody like that comes up and steps up, and next thing you know, they're Super Bowl MVP because they had a breakout game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they got to utilize the unexpected players, I think.
Well, Kelsey's going to be too busy thinking about the after game, you know.
Yeah.
But he wins if he loses.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he's got a Grammy-winning hottie for he gets to go home with.
Yeah,
so,
going home with the prom queen.
honey, I'm really beat up after this game. Can we work some of these kinks out?
Maybe his brother take his shirt off again.
That was some funny stuff, man.
We had fun with that
he
one.
He looked totally wasted. I was like, holy shit.
All right, so you got the Chiefs 28, the
25.
Niners 25. All right, man. That's a good call. Anything else you want to say, buddy, before we say goodbye?
You know what? Enjoy the game. I think this is going to be one of our best ones in a while.
I do too.
And I wouldn't be surprised who either team won, but I think KC just seems like after the way they handle Baltimore, I feel like they just wanted a little more.
You just can't bet against Mahomes in the playoffs. You just can't.
It's kind of hard.
His playoff record is 14-3.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
He finds another gear in the playoffs. So he's kind of like Kobe was, you know. Come playoff time, he's a completely different player, better.
He finds a smart. He just plays. He doesn't play a flashy game in the playoffs. He plays a smart game.
Yes.
Like he'll see, he'll be in the pocket, and he knows he got a pass, but then he'll see an opening, and he'll take that, and then he'll dip it off to a receiver to get the extra 5-10 yards. So that can play major difference with his game.
The only thing that concerns me about the Chiefs, even though they have ice in their blood when it comes to playoff time, is Patrick does not have the receiving weapons that he used to have from previous Super Bowl runs. And they seem to get past their regular season problems where they had a case of the dropsies almost every game. They haven't shown that in the playoffs yet.
They were dropping a lot of passes.
That could reoccur at any time because it was very bad. They were the number one dropped pass team in the league this season.
And that could be their hurt point, but they still got Kelsey.
Their defense been keeping them in games. Number 2 ranked defense in the entire league. Number 1 ranked defense was what's left because they took out the
look how they handled.
defense
come on, look how they handled
a week ago.
How they handled Baltimore.
Yeah, well, that was the number 1 ranked defense. They took them out.
You hold them to 10 points. That major play was the goal line fumble at the right time.
That was bad. Right after the taunt, like 2-3 plays after the taunt.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and
that right there, that changed, and to me, that saved the game for them.
And that's one of the things. Sometimes I get it. You want to get the ball in the end zone. You want to be the hero. I get it 100%. But sometimes you go ahead and let them tackle you at the one, and you get a fresh set of downs. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and as I said in our previous cast, if that taunting penalty doesn't happen, that ball doesn't get dropped in the end zone because they don't lose the 15 yards. They don't have to make that extra rush for the end zone.
Right. I agree.
Right? So, and it was the same guy. The guy who had the taunting
Flowers.
call. Yeah. Zay Flowers. He's the guy who gets the ball like stripped through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, well, you know what's name was still a scapegoat on that one. But yeah, quarterback is always going to be the scapegoat.
Yeah, but Flowers is a rookie. You know, he'd had a really good first season. Those are rookie mistakes he made. That's all that is. That's just an experience, you know?
He's got the best sellies, too.
He does. So, I mean, it happens. What are you going to do? But you take those two things away, he's having a breakout season, you know?
Yeah, well, let's see what he does next season.
Yeah.
It's over now.
Well, over until next spring. We're going to keep doing shows over the summer. And next fall, we're going to cover the full season. So we hope you join us for more than one phone call.
Yeah, we should have a 26 episode season 2.
I'll be around.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for joining us, man. That was Coach Karriem Smith out of the Big Apple. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Coach
You got
K.
it. All right, guys.
Thanks, brother.
He's such a good guy, man.
Love him. I haven't seen him in a long time. We DJ'd together in Atlantic City in 2014 or 2015.
For the DJ Expo?
At the DJ Expo, yeah. It was a great time. I love spending time with him.
So that was well, we got to put it up as podcast number 7, but I'm calling it 6.5.
It's a interrogative. What do you want to call it?
Bonus content.
Bonus content.
Bonus content of the Straight Off the Couch podcast. For my host, before I get to my co-host, special thanks once again to Coach Karriem Smith, Coach K. Thanks for joining us. For my co-host, Adam, how do we get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah. So we do the Straight Off the Couch podcast at gmail.com, or you can find me on the X, I guess it's called now, where they do the tweets.
Yeah,
and, it's Adam off the couch there.
It's gonna be Twitter forever for me. I'm
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I always see that blue little bird. So
exactly.
Adam off the couch there, and you can hit us up on our Facebook page, which is Straight Off the Couch.
All right, boys and girls. We'll talk to you next week after the big game. Enjoy. Don't overindulge. You got to work Monday morning. Be safe. God bless. Bye-bye.